it is.
Hey, everybody. How are y'all doing? My name is Hagen from Lettuce Comics, and you are watching the Sunday Comic Book Hangover show. I'm joined, as always, by my friend and wife and co-host, Nate of Hollywood Comics. And we are joined by my father, Jeff from Comic Spa, and the man who is called the comic book community's Valium, Cliff on Comics. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Good. Yeah. Thanks for having us on.
Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
Oh, it is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, for sure, and all the father figures, because there's a lot of people that step up to the plate who are not biological fathers, but they're doing the job, so they deserve some recognition too. And
moreover, if this is a difficult holiday for you, as it is for some, we're thinking about you as well. But we hope that this can be a little bit of fun to start your day. So grab a coffee and we'll hang out with Cliff and Jeff for a little bit, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. It's really, really nice to see both of you.
Anything for Batman and Robin.
And Cliff, we'll see you.
And I'm happy to be here at Sloppy Seconds. I'm very excited.
Not Sloppy Seconds. Stop it. We're going to see Cliff at Heroes. I think we're going to see a lot of people who are in the chat at Heroes Con, which, I mean, this time next week, it's going to be winding down. It's going to be the last day of the con.
Yeah, so now that we're like in the actual, put pedal to the metal, go ahead and leave a comment if you are going to Heroes Con, just so we can get a final tally, because I know that there have been some people popping in, popping out. So but while y'all are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and say hi to the people that are in chat. The first person, as always, at 2:14 a.m. Was Eric from SideQuest Comics. Hey, buddy.
Never sleeps.
Pocket bacon. Yeah, absolutely.
I gotta say, this reminds me, I miss Las Cruces so much, because and I know he's really going through some stuff right now, but he used to be the first everywhere, anywhere, all at once. So shout out to Las Cruces, but also thank you, SideQuest.
So JSS Brooklyn, our wonderful Blue Wrench, is here as well. Hello, sir. Impressed Comics. Hey, bud. Hey, Munin, the Scoffer, is here. Wellbore,
all the way from Canada.
And Rich of Big and also Nasty Comics is here.
He does.
Doug, the comic collector coach. Mark's Issues with Archie Comics is here. Just Michael. Good morning, sir. We've got Chris Sturgeon.
Hey, Chris.
We have Jay from J&B's Expensive Paper. Hey, bud. Stevie D. Hey, buddy. How are you doing?
I got something to show from him today.
John's Comics with Kids is here. Comic Mike is here. Steven from Collecto 6 is here. Chonko is here. Chonko, your package came in yesterday. I haven't been able to open it yet, but it did come in yesterday. Making sure that I'm not missing anybody. I'm sure that I am. Christina Payne, another wonderful Blue Wrench, is here.
Christina,
thank you for everything that you do. Cliff.
I know that guy.
I am omnipresent.
Real life meat space person Himbo is here. Eric. And I think that is everybody.
Hey, I want to. So I was looking at some stuff for Heroes at the Westin. Everybody talks about the Westin breakfast buffet, and so I was like, check that out. That is a $30 meal. So I looked it up.
It's a buffet. It's a grand buffet. Okay, well, this isn't a buffet for freaking amateur hour. Okay. So bring your appetite. Okay, budget a little harder. All right, put a couple of paywall OnlyFans videos and get on it.
So okay, what can I expect from this grand buffet? What's
I
there?
don't know, but I saw cheesecakes. I saw those beautiful little tartlet thingies. I saw that there was like a carving station situation. So I've heard very lovely things. I mean, I'm obviously not going to go every single day to the buffet breakfast, but I can right now at $30 a pop, baby. But I am thinking, like at least Friday, morning, and then of course Friday night we have our $50 outing, which again, I don't know how many of you out there have had to like book a situation before, but it is not cheap. $50 is an absolute steal for 3 hours of a select menu and unlimited alcoholic beverages, even if it is only beer and wine or some crap like that. But we got Canadians coming, so they're gonna make people suffer. They're gonna make people pay for unlimited beer and wine. That place is going to wonder what happened to all their beer and wine in 3 hours.
Cliff, you know what I like about you? You don't have very strong opinions, and when you do, you keep them to yourself. You're a very naturally quiet person, and we really have to drag it out of you.
I'm such a humble presence, I really am.
He's telling you got to step up your game, so you just got to get a little louder, a little, then you'll be good.
And
see, what's the comic rat? All right, he knows. Mr. Akins understands. Unlimited drink sounds like a challenge. He knows. And he's a fit little dude. I feel like he could put some down.
Here's the thing, like I can't get me wrong. I enjoy a good drink, but I can't go like stupid hard at this thing because then I won't be able to go shop the next day. Like, at 48, a hangover hits a lot harder than it used to.
It's disgusting, isn't it? Isn't it just awful? But also you teach, and those of us who are in realms where we have, living beings sucking the life out of us every single day for a living, like it just hits that much harder. It really does. It really does.
I definitely am gonna have a good time while I'm there, but I just when you say unlimited, I'm like, I'm not pushing that to the limit like I would have in my younger days for sure.
I'll do it for you.
But you were young.
Hagen's, by the way, Hagen, I don't know what's happening with that bear patch there. All right, yeah. But I was like, but it's Pride Month, so don't you go misrepresenting my people.
That's why I'm wearing it.
Okay. All right.
This is a shirt that I bought specifically for like wearing during Pride. So yeah,
then I'm much happier. Obviously I have to go grab the flags from the utility closet and pop them up for the month.
Good man, excellent. Jeff, you are not going to Heroes Con, but there's something kind of cool that you've asked me to help you facilitate. Do you want to talk about that? Because I think it's neat.
It is. It was funny. I forget who brought it to my attention, but they said there's a place you can go. There's a link that you can go to see artwork that was going to be put on covers that, for whatever reason, each one was different. They never ended up using it. So the one I wanted, because it was so cool when I went there and I saw that Michael Golden had done one, which was the Avengers Annual 10, and that this was the first cover they were going to use. But then because of advertisements, the bicycle advertisement, I guess there's one time it had to be on every single book. And so because
there was one.
Yeah. So there wasn't enough room evidently at the top. So they had to just toss it. And when I saw this on that link, what it looked like, I'm like, oh, this was really a nice cover. I thought, now this is what I would love to have him sign, at some point if he came around. Like I haven't seen him really up here in New England. He might have been to something, but I haven't seen him in a while. And then when you offered, I thought, oh my God, this would be fantastic. If I could get that, it didn't have to be large, but I just thought it was kind of cool because they had some neat ones on there actually, which I sent it to you and you can kind of see.
Yeah. I've got that link. I'm going to get that printed today. And I'm going to get a signature for you.
So thank you so much for doing it. Yeah, that was so nice of you. And I know Mike's coming down and he was more concerned with how large is this? I said, no, I understand.
Yeah.
Something you want to stick on a plane and carry around. And
I figure if we just printed it, like comic book size, we can throw it in a bag and board and he can get it to you. He can courier it safely.
That's exactly what I told him. I said, "You're my
And-
courier," and he goes, "Just as long as it's not too big."
Yeah. Anything else Mike might be keistering, that's up to him.
Oh my God, why are you doing this to me? I heard the words too big, and I was like, be good, Cliff. Be good. Then you said keistering, and I'm like, oh my God, they're testing me. They're testing
I know
me.
because I know my audience, Cliff. I knew you would like that word, keister.
Keistering specifically.
Keistering, yeah.
Is there certain words we should be avoiding? Should Cliff give a list?
I have the filthiest mind on all 7 days of the week. So, like, every word should be avoided. Every word.
I mean, I picture it's like if you know the Shaquille O'Neal meme where it's like, I sleep, and then when someone says something, he wakes up. Like, I could see Cliff waking out of a someone says keister somewhere in the world, and Cliff just sits up in bed, ready with his retort. Cliff, are you looking? Are you hunting anything specific at Heroes Con?
I just gave away $800 so that my car can be suitable to be on the road for work tomorrow. So I don't know what I'm looking for anymore. I'm looking for the usual things. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for a good idea. I'm looking to see my friends, my online friends.
So when you guys go, like, what size budget do you guys like to go with? Like, or is it just every time you go, it's something different? Because sometimes it's just whatever piques my curiosity before a con, like all of a sudden. So it doesn't have to be something expensive, but I think everybody carries, something in their pocket, and sometimes they're looking, like somebody I know went for something big one year. So
right.
Yeah, Cliff, can you answer that first? Because Nate and I will just go after you. But I am curious, like, what do you typically bring to a con? Budget-wise.
First of all, it is whatever the gods are willing to allow me. All right, that's the first thing, because I tried everything to save up for this year, and everything attacked me left, right, and center from January to this morning. I'm like, I can't even. And so I would have really have been happy to have brought 1,200 with me, because I figured, like, this is the con where you want to have a nice budget. So now that budget is looking a lot closer to like 400, but I'm gonna make the best of it. And then that's it. The only thing that has piqued my interest. So every year I try to set some kind of goal. Last year I went crazy. Last year I set all sorts of Invaders Defenders goals. And although I did proudly cross things off that list, I didn't succeed in any particular one arena. So this year I have just made my focus Legion of Superhero Keys, because I feel like that's not something I'm going to have a lot of competition over. It's just going to be me and the Canadians, and half of them are staying in Canada, so thank you. And sorry, Matt and Steve and Alan, but stay away from my Legion comics. And so like that's my main focus, and I'm still trying to complete my Marvel 2-in-1 and Marvel Team Up runs. So, if nothing else, there's that. Look at Collecto 6, the Legion. Yeah. Oh, I knew it. That's right. Stay in Canada while I'm shopping for Legion.
I have to imagine he doesn't have that many that he needs.
No, he doesn't. But I know how they are. Oh, I have this one in a 5, but I could get it in this 8. It's all out there. It's like, oh, I didn't know that Dev M's first appearance was on this very black, crispy cover of Adventure Comics. Like, I know, because those same voices haunt my mind, but I only have a third of the budget.
Yeah. Hagen, what about you? What's your plan?
So typically, like when I've gone to cons in the past, Cliff, it is very much a whatever happens to be bestowed upon me. Last year when I went to Heroes Con, it was the most I'd ever brought to a convention, and I brought, I believe, $800.
There you go.
And I was having like a mild panic attack over it the entire time. But I went specifically because I wanted to get an Avengers 4, and I did. But typically, like I'll bring 200. And really not much more than that. And that's that's what I'm bringing this year. I thought that Cliff, like you, I was hit with a hurricane. We've had storms around here. There have been various personal issues going on, stuff with employment. So my budget has fluctuated greatly over the past little bit. And I thought that it was going to be in the $40 range at one point, but I'm just going to hang out with people. So, whatever ends up happening. But I don't think that it's going to be quite that desperate.
If you notice, I have a screen to share. And so I came up with something fun for us for us poors at the convention.
I love this.
So let's see if there we go. That's a proper screen share. All right. So I came up with a little scavenger hunt. First is try to find the best item for $10. Now, I have lots of ideas for the scavenger hunt. One of them is that everybody should record their own scavenger hunt and for their channel, right? That sounds like fun.
It does.
And
thanks
then
for the free content.
Yeah, right. So it's like, oh, Cliff came up with the scavenger hunt. Let's see how we do. So we could just tag each other and all that fun shit. Wait, we're 16 minutes in. I could drop an S word. So
I didn't know that was a rule.
No, in your first 7 minutes, you should not drop any curse words.
Yeah.
Allegedly because of the algorithm.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I know, but like I kind of believe it.
I kind of do too, but everybody claims they know. Oh, do this because the algorithm likes it. Don't do this because the algorithm is.
Okay. Do any of you watch the content creator videos that they put out monthly?
No.
So right, but I do, and there's people there who straight up say, "Hey, you should really keep it clean. Hey, don't go and re-edit your videos after you've posted them because it resets the count, or it resets the the algorithm treats it as a new video every time you do an edit, right? So all sorts of tricks that they share there that I leave. And look at Jay says, believe it, gentlemen. I understand. Oh, and I know it's true because I had Lady Fantastic on an episode of Comics and Coffee, and I cannot, for the life of me, get that video monetized because we dropped so many curse words that morning and in the first 7 minutes.
All right.
So I was like, so now I know. Also, if you ever want to have an uncensored guest, call my girl Caroline. So anyhow, best $10 item, right? And then I figure, so I would like to do, are we all going to be at the art auction on Saturday night or something?
Yes.
I'm going to be there taking up space, but not
right.
Right.
So this is my theory. My theory is we use someone who is actually staying at the Westin, like Matt, to try and get one of the conference rooms. And like we get into one of the conference rooms and just do a live stream with my laptop. And then I'll set it so you can all share to all your channels. Well, whatever the heck we're going to do. Right. And then we'll just do a live stream and then we'll let the audience decide, who did it best. Right.
That's cool.
So we'll start with the $10 item. Right. And I was going to do the paperclip challenge, start with a $10 item and try to work your way up. And then a lot of people were like, Cliff, Heroes Con is a monstrous beast. Don't do that to anybody. So it's just try to find your best $10 item. The second one, mystery bag or box, $50 or less, right? And I've told everyone, first of all, we don't even know if anyone's going to have any mystery items there, number one, but they should because it's a very large show. And number two, $50 or less. It doesn't matter. Just try to find one and pay for it. And then we'll do a reveal and see how we did. Photo with a cosplayer from your favorite fandom. I don't feel like this should be so hard. 5 people we know are showing up to cosplay at this thing.
Cool.
An Artist Alley hidden gem, a print, a sticker, a comic from an independent artist. But this one is to support someone local or an independent creator, right?
Very cool.
And try to chat with them too for content. You're welcome. And then number 5, weirdest or most unexpected find. Look for something completely out of left field, a horror comic among romance. And I love the idea. Like it's a horror comic, but it's a romance comic or vice versa. A retro toy for your childhood, whatever. Mash up. And of course, document why it's weird. More content. You're welcome. So I thought this was a fun idea, especially for us poors. So basically, I'm like, do all this, make content, and at most it costs you $60. You're welcome, everybody. Oh, and there's a prize. There's a prize. There's a prize. So, should we properly declare a winner? Books are falling. No, Thor, behave yourself. God, his hammer's out of control this morning.
I'm not as much as I love Crom's idea here of hosting it at the hot tub. I don't think the Westin has a hot tub. They don't have a pool.
There is, I think the suite rooms have hot tubs, but we're not doing that. So I got this nice foily advanced Battle Beast pole.
Oh wow.
You know, and of course you'll win a Clip on Comics No Cape prize.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I saw you post that list on Instagram. I was like, that's really cool. It's a great idea, man. Not just fun, but like a fun way to get like people involved, all doing kind of the same thing. Because I keep hearing everybody say it, like we're all kind of going just to hang out with each other. It seems like, I mean, we love comics, and I know we're gonna buy comics, but it also kind of feels like that's almost secondary to just the big in the same room hangout.
So, Cliff, if you don't mind me asking, you have sort of taken the role of like one of the community organizers. Like there are a bunch of people that like set up schedules and do things like that. You are definitely one of those people. Why did you start doing that? Like what leads you to that? Do you do that in your regular life, or is that just a Cliff?
No, I was like somebody had to catch Lois while she was falling, you know. So like, I knew you would like that one.
I love that one.
Well, no, like I'm not even a community org. I took over the Sunday lineup when Durs, had to like move on and do more with his life, which by the way, great job with Rups Comics. Love you. So like, but like, so it's like, well, someone needs to do this. And no one, it was like, it was a 24-hour grace period where there was just crickets. And I was like, you know what? I'll do it. I've got Canva. I'll do it. And I'm also on the CBC awards committee. Okay. I don't, because I want the awards to be better. And last year I wanted them to be, and last year I joined to make them better. And last year, as we all may well know, it wasn't great. There were issues. I still love the awards. I still appreciate it. I'm still very much involved. So this year has been all about course correction. And in that course correction, we've already tripped over a couple of snags, a couple of, roots that popped up out of the ground in the middle of your sidewalk,
But don't get down about that, because like, I mean, I think it's cool that, whatever with last year, nobody like tried to abandon it. The goal was to improve it. And I think you guys made steps in that direction and made decisions that you did that. And so if you see things now, great. Next year, work on that again, but don't be down because it's not perfect. Everything's a process.
I know. First of all, I'm very realistic about it not being perfect. But just so you know, it's very generous of you to say that no one's abandoned it, but the ghost of last year's past does certainly do stick around. But that's okay, because we're gonna do better this year. We're gonna try and have a better show. We've changed the tiers so that people have more opportunity, and now the bigger channels can be in the open categories, and now everyone who's 2,000 and under, there's 3 tiers to try and support them. Exactly. Remember that the CBC awards are supposed to be fun, and that is the focus this year, is fun. And hopefully, because I know there's not a lot of people who aren't particularly crazy about the awards, but I am hoping more people will want to participate this year, and actually be at the ready to receive their award online. Because 2 years ago, as soon as there was an award winner, they were on StreamYard almost immediately, graciously accepting. And last year, outside of some things were technical issues, but outside of that, I also found there just were not a lot of people participating. A couple people had a little bit of a watch party. You know, it is what it is. But it's a new year. It's a new committee. David from Still 35 Cents is on there with me.
Yeah, great guy.
Richard's on there. Oh my God, why am I blanking? I'm blanking. We just have a fabulous committee. I'm going to pull up the list because I'm terrible and I don't like to forget people. But yeah, it should be fun. It is fun. And also, like, and some people take it so seriously, and it's fine to like. I live in both worlds. I love a good competition for fun, right? Like the spirit of competition, which some people seem to have forgotten what that means, you know. And like that's for me, that's where it is. Some people take it like deeply seriously, and I understand, but also like no one loves you any less, and if they do, they can have a very nice day. They can have a very nice day over there.
The list of current channels that have been nominated just went up on their website this week. And I mean, I already saw like several and that's what it is for me, is like there's several channels I've never heard of, you know, that the algorithm, back to the algorithm, that it doesn't put in front of you necessarily. So that's what I really liked about it. You know, last year, both Hagen and I got nominated, and I thought that was like really cool. And I met a lot of people because of it. I got a lot of channels that I watch because of it. And that's what I hope it does is grow the community and get more eyes on some more deserving channels that aren't getting those views.
Well, also, I want to point out to you that you made it to the finalist round, right? This is the list of nominations, but only the top of each will become finalist. And also after we screen to make sure that people are in the proper categories. So this year's committee is myself, Kingdom of Nerds, Brucifer, Still Only 35 Cents, David, Aussieverse, which, you know, of course, is our buddy there. Oh my God, he's going to murder me. He's going to murder me. I'm going to be murdered. Bo. And then Richard Busfalt, who you all know, Dr. Ebony Toussaint, Carla Medrano, and you know the Doctor and Carla, of course. They make a wonderful duo. And Derek Neiman. And by the way, the Doctor and Carla basically do not want to be they're not going to accept the nomination because they feel very strongly that they're serving on the committee this year, and they would like somebody else to, you know, they want the opportunity to go to others. So I think that's very admirable. I wish that I was so generous. Please, tier 3, most interactive host right here, folks. And
a very worthy candidate for sure.
Thank you. But we worked very hard. And again, even this process wasn't perfect, but it did come down to like, let's trim this down to what should work, right? And as usual, people don't realize how much people sacrifice financially. Like this, you know, this is always out of pocket for Brian, right? The payments. So even at the end of the day, after all the sponsorships and everything, he is still paying for the cleanup and everything else. You know, and shout out to David for organizing our Friday night event, because the tip and all that stuff he's paying for.
Yeah.
You know, we're just paying the $50 a person. And if I try to do that here, like at my little fancy place across the river from me, that's 12 minutes away, that's $75 a person. You know, and that's on a Friday night. If it was a Sunday afternoon, I could knock us down to a $35 brunch, which is where I had which is the brunch I had for my 40th birthday, and it was fabulous.
So I know I saw the link dropped earlier, but yeah, if you've not nominated your favorite channels, you know, go check out the CBC Awards page, take a look at the list. I had to look at it ahead of time because you can only do it once with your email address, you know, and I was like, there were some categories I just didn't have something for. And in the end, there were just a couple I ended up leaving blank, but I wanted to make sure that I hit as many as I could. But really it's that I guess it's that biggest tier for me, or the open category. There are some things that like I just don't watch statue unboxings, or that was something that was harder for me. But I think it's really cool. I appreciate your work on it, Cliff.
Statues
And
was hard?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you say statues were hard?
Yes.
Oh my God! Just vote for get back in there. Vote for Mad Spidey. And like, if you're struggling with any of the categories, I can help you. You know, Mad Spidey does a wonderful, wonderful statue unboxing. And also, but I say this because every year he's always a bridesmaid. And also this year, Gem Mint can't win it because he's in the Ring of Honor.
Right.
So like that, you all have a chance, everybody.
Mon Comics did a nomination stream last night, and he actually nominated Mad Spidey in that category, and said the exact same thing. He was like, Gem Mint can't win, and Spidey's always a bridesmaid, never the bride. So that's funny. Exact same thing. Anything else about the awards? I mean,
again, if you're gonna vote for whoever you're gonna vote for, I know I'm asking you to do some extra work, but just go and open their channel on another window and make sure you know what subscriber zone that they're in. So it's like, obviously you guys are still in the early tier, which is excellent for you.
He's not. I am.
Wait, Hagen is higher up? What am I missing?
Yeah.
Hagen, are you in tier 2?
I have somehow lucked into having like 570 something. So
ooh, exciting.
I know.
Well, good for you. All right, that's gonna really complicate the issue between the two of you, but a win for your show in either category is a win for both of you, right?
Sure.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, we're not super worried about it.
I'm glad. Hagen is at 574. Look at the chat, loving you and being all over. Have fun. Tune in. Be a part of the show. Be a part of the conversation. Encourage people to participate, to advocate a little bit for themselves. You can do it and not be gross, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think some people are too scared of what that will look like and how people will interpret that, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what you should be worried about. Just worried about this is fun, and if people want to show up for you, great. And if you don't win, you know what? It was an honor to make it to the nomination, and just have a great time. People still love you.
And so let's close with this. If you want to nominate the Sunday Comic Book Hangover Show, please do. And if you don't, then don't. That's cool too. Thanks for watching.
There are 2 comments that I have to address really quick. One, Himbo, not worth it. Sorry, dude. That's fine. And Doug, you weren't supposed to tell anybody about that. That was an unlisted video that I sent.
Very nice,
to you, man.
Cliff.
Come on, dude.
Just for those of you who are still considering your votes, Cliff loves Namor.
Before we let you guys show some things that you brought, I want to touch on one last thing, and that is Superman movie pre-sale tickets went up last week. My friend Eric Himbo, he got us tickets. We're actually going twice. We're going to the early show on Thursday, and then with my whole family, we're going on the following Saturday. So has anyone else bought their tickets?
I have mine. I'm going Tuesday, July 8th.
Oh, you got I was going to ask if anybody, because I didn't try to do the Amazon Prime early showing.
I don't know why you didn't. I don't know why you didn't.
Because I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of lazy. And my friend Eric said, I'm gonna get us tickets. And so I let him take the reign on that. I don't know. I just didn't try.
I know, but it was right there. It was like right there. It was right there for the taking. And you're probably an Amazon Prime member to make it like.
Oh, I am. But didn't you have to do it through the Fandango app or something?
Just go. I did it on my desktop and boom, 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 boom. Okay. I was in, and I have my ticket, and I'm going to Danbury, Connecticut to see it. And I may even take the day off work and just make a whole adventure out of it because I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna love that movie, and I don't care how many people are in that theater, packed in like sardines with me, because I got an end seat for my big ass. I'm going to love that show. I'm like, and if it's terrible, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna live stream for the parking lot with the tears rolling from my face. Like, comic book movies are over. They're over. They did us dirty, or I'm gonna love it. And I'll be like, oh my God, this movie was amazing. And I was like, and I had so much fun hating Guy Gardner.
Oh, I can't wait for Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner is gonna be spot on perfect.
Oh,
It's gonna be
absolutely
so
not.
good.
It's hideous and atrocious. And Lois attacking his haircut is the greatest thing ever. I hate him. So like, I just decided I'm gonna have to hate this version of Guy Gardner, and I'm going to enjoy my hatred.
I love hating Guy Gardner, and I want to talk
I like
Mr. Aiken's point here. I don't hate Fandango. I hate that every damn place wants me to put their app on my phone.
You don't have to put the app on the phone. You'll even let you do it through the Safari if you have an iPhone.
I'm on an old man rant. I'm over it. Like,
you know what? For somebody who has so much natural hair color left, you've got to stop with the old man rant. Okay, we have to fight. Okay, these kids out there are effing things up, and we need to be better leaders, and we got to stay on top of that.
I know.
If we have to work twice, look who I'm telling. You're a damn teacher. Forget this.
Yeah.
Now you got me on my.
Their phones are full of apps. Drives me crazy.
Is your school going to start not letting them have phones during the day?
My kids are 8, so they're not allowed to have.
No, the school you work for.
I'm sorry.
The school you work for, are the students going to continue to have phones, or are they going to?
I don't know. I haven't heard. At the elementary level, they're not allowed to have phones. Like, they are in their backpacks, like, because there's a lot of kids that, that's how they communicate. Hey, Mom, I'm home. But they're never allowed to have them out of their backpacks. So that won't change for me. I don't know what they're doing at the secondary levels. That's Mad Max times. I don't I don't roll up there.
I like that my daughter, like in high school, like as soon as the kids are coming into the class, on the door, I think it's on the back side of the door, they have this sleeves where they have to put all their phones in this sleeve, so they can't take it to their desk, and so they get to go to class. They don't even get to look at the phone until the whole thing's done. I thought I like that.
Yeah, well, that's what some of my local schools are instituting in this area.
I think a lot are, and here's a couple more teachers. Chris Sturgeon is a history teacher, and he says his high schoolers aren't allowed, and Mr. Aiken's school system is getting rid of phones next year.
Chris Sturgeon's talking about how teachers have Faraday bags, which is crazy. That's really cool.
That's awesome.
That's
so, like, blocking the signal so that they can't go off and have alarms or beeps or chirps or any of that to disrupt.
Yeah, I guess so. Jeff, are you planning on seeing the Superman movie?
When I saw Crypto, I mean, that's it. I just thought that was the coolest thing that they were gonna, do that. I thought, oh man, that's.
I am so happy that's how you finished off that thought, because I was like, what's wrong with Crypto? And he's like, that's it. I'm in for Crypto.
That's it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just thought it was the coolest thing that, I wasn't expecting it, but it was cool that, it was put in there. It was not something I was thinking, because up till now, they haven't really done anything like that. I mean, I guess you had Man-Thing, it's not really, I don't know. It's different. So I just thought it was cool. I liked that they were doing that.
Like, I was so excited to see that, because my friends who are sort of vaguely into comics, the ones that were vaguely into superheroes, the ones that went with me to like the MCU movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I got to introduce to them like who Crypto was, because they saw a dog show up in a Superman cape. And they were like, "What is going on here?" And I got to tell them like all about it. I was so happy about that. But yeah,
the fact that James Gunn goes all in on the cape for Crypto just makes me feel like he's not going to shy away from some Superman silliness that's fun. Like
the red trunks, the red underwear is a good sign. It's a good sign.
When they show him showing up trying to help him and then dragging him, I thought that was kind of the coolest thing too. I thought that's perfect.
So I'm on the lookout there's a McFarlane action figure of Strange Lives of Superman where it's got the lion head and the big head, and they're swappable. And I couldn't find it yesterday, but I found this, and this is another character that I cannot believe is going to be in a DC movie. So I got the Metamorpho action figure yesterday. I mean, it looks so good.
And he's such a good character too. You know, it's like he's one of those that got to be used. I mean, he's gotten used over time, but not enough. I feel like, you know, you get a good writer on something like that, a character like that, boom. I think, you know, it could be really
I mean, they just had a 6-issue, I guess you could call it a mini series, but it was supposed to be ongoing, but it was canceled, and it was a lot of fun. Like, it was really well written. The person who was writing it, Al Ewing, I think. Yeah. He loved the old Silver Age stories, and you could tell by the way he wrote. It had this, like, you know, quick beat. Hey, Metamorpho maniacs, we're, you know, whatever. Like, the way it was written was just very respectful and fun, and it just didn't catch. So, like, at the end of the 6th issue, they're like, and we got canceled. So
I feel like DC's like buried treasure. I feel like there are so much stuff there. I mean, Plastic Man, come on, you could take your character and do something with him, and it's like
they did.
See the last Plastic Man miniseries where he's decomposing,
so good,
and he's like, and he's so worried about it, and he doesn't even care if he saves himself. He wants to find a cure so his son doesn't die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great Father's Day miniseries. Everyone should read it.
Yeah,
I think
that's material right there. That's what you want to look for. You just, I don't know if people just don't want to write for comics anymore. It's like, I don't know what it is, because when you think back in the 70s,
people want to write for comics. Okay, they want to write for comics. Corporate filth, scum still exists and ruins everything for us. Oh, I don't know if we need to have 1,600 variants, but if we have more than 32 titles out on the market, I'm not sure. Like, I'm so sick of everything and everyone. If any of you build anything worth having, don't you dare sell it to a corporation. You enjoy your millions. Go hire a CEO who knows what they're doing and keep your stuff to yourself before some freaking corporate conglomerate comes to me. You know what? I'm really in this place this morning. I'm so sorry. Let me Now would be a good time. Now would be a really good time to mention that the Sunday morning comic book hangover show is now sponsored by Boeing. Boeing for all of your armament needs. Boeing. Yeah, but don't forget. Okay. Also, AARP is now available not only to seniors who are 55 and older, but AARP is accessible to those of you 18 plus for $25 for your first 3 years. You can enjoy many of the benefits of AARP discounts that normally were reserved for seniors. And seniors, not only do you still get the same discounts you've come to rely on, you also get additional benefits from AARP looking to help you and, realize the best in your financial future and setting. So AARP.
Did you mention Lettuce Comics at Pet Boys for $10 off your next oil change?
and put Cliff Comics as your discount code at BCW Supplies if you're going to get boxes, bags, boards. All right, that was tasteless, but it's 10% off, so don't forget.
Wait, do you really have a code for BCW?
I really do. Cliff Comics, yeah.
Holy crap!
That's
awesome.
Crazy.
That's who. I mean, number one, that's who I buy from. Number two, they're an Indiana company. It's a local ship for me.
Buy local and get you 10% off.
That's right. Use Cliff 10. These codes don't work. What? Our fake corporate sponsorship isn't real?
But Cliff Comics does work on BCW.
But yeah, that's very cool, man. Cliff, that is very cool, because like I actually do need to. My problem with them is I always do like kind of a big order so that I can get free shipping.
You have to.
But I didn't order enough Golden Age bags last time. So it's like I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to pay that money for just 100 of those or whatever. But yeah, maybe I can put something else together.
Okay, first of all, you're ordering all wrong. Okay, you got to do a blend. Do I need golden?
Oh,
yes.
I do.
Yeah.
I do, but I
order 600 at a time like magic. I don't know what you're doing.
I ordered 500 silver and 200 golden, and
All right.
and
You were
some.
sure on golden?
Well, I don't. It's not golden age. It's my silver age that have the really bad spine roll that Jeff from Comic Spa won't fix for me because he's got a 2-year waiting list, and since they won't fit in a silver age bag anymore, they have to go into the golden age
I
bag.
already told you could send something my way at some point because I do owe you. So it's like,
Well, I'm keeping that in my back pocket till I got something good. Maybe even after Heroes Con, we'll see.
actually, I do want to go back to that because Cliff brought up, the gaming thing, and I think another thing that I don't know if you guys ever did this. Like when you go, have they ever done? Because I've seen it done where you start with like $10, and then you try to see how high you can go with a trade every time,
Yeah,
and at the
yeah.
end, see who has the best valued book at the very end. That's kind of a cool game to play too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I don't know that I could focus on that at Heroes Con. Like
it would take up the whole time. It would take up the whole time.
There is well, I know, and you would really have to be like going a battle royale at the 3 Men in a Basement comic swap.
Mhm.
Mike from Lunch Money, other people, they all showed up with stuff to like nothing. Everybody wanted twice or 3 times as much what people were presenting for the things they want to trade for, And Mike was like, "This is crazy," and this is the comic swap where everybody's like very like friendly and like whatever. But when it came to swapping, they're like, "Nope, this is not a solid guarantee. I need more." So that was a bit rough. But there is that one guy whose name is escaping me. He did like a whole year of his content was just him trading up from like a dollar bin comic to his Hulk 181.
Holy crap.
So like, and it's a whole journey of videos that you could watch. Now that's some evergreen content, people. That's some
great.
evergreen
Doubt.
It is fun when you can find books out there. Like for myself, who doesn't, I don't have my collection. I'm almost got it all gone now. But a friend of mine, or actually it was my brother, he said to me, he goes, "Hey, they're having a tag sale over near me. So you should go take a look." And of course, I still get that feeling of wanting to do it. And I was going through, it was a rainy day, and I'm like, oh, they're all gonna be crappy books, And let's see, where did I put it? It's over here. Oh, yep, here it is. This was in there, and I never read it.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's got value, and I thought, well, that's kind of neat. I wasn't expecting to find any
Well,
old. You don't really find the older books
That's
anymore.
that's the reprint. That's the Image First.
Oh, is that? Oh, it's a
version.
reprint. Oh, never mind. Then I got no value whatsoever.
No, it's still a really good story. Like I the problem with that book is they took a big hiatus, and since they took the hiatus, I have not gone back. Like I'm like that with a lot of things. Like when TV shows do that. I was just talking about that with my wife that, we hadn't watched the new Futurama episodes. And it's because of the hiatus. So when they take a big break, sometimes I just kind of get out of the habit of something, or it just falls to the back of my memory. And it's like, well, I'd have to reread all of that to get caught up to read the new stuff. Cause I don't really remember, everything that happened.
Especially when there's a lot of stuff out there. I mean, you do kind of forget about all that stuff, and every now and then, like when I go into the shop, which I'm not going as often as I used to, I actually have to ask them. The owner, like I say, "Hey, is there anything out there that's fairly decent to read?" And he actually turned me on to this series, which
see, I've heard that's great. I've not read it.
Yeah, and it is.
All of that is great.
Yeah, really good. I was really impressed. I said, anytime I go in there, I said, "Hey, just always tell me the next book that is fairly decent, because you just don't know. You're going to have to buy everything on." And of course, he's there all the time, and he's checking them out himself. So yeah, this was a decent series too that I kind of enjoyed. So yeah.
Cliff is it called "We'll Take You All Down With Us" or something like that?
We're taking everyone down with us, I think is the name.
Is that in the Rook universe?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not. We're taking everything down with us. It's only a 6-issue miniseries. It's about it's just a regular. Oh, wait a second. It says about Rook on it.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, but it's a different kind of Rook thing. It's not part right because it would have the there's got to be a different Rook that they're talking about
Okay.
because it can't be yeah, in fact, when I do a little Google, there's nothing there that suggests that they're related. So I'm guessing there's some kind of other Rook property that we don't know about.
Yeah, 'cause I started reading that and I saw that Rook was on there and I was like, oh, I wonder if this is connected.
Ghost Machine, Rook, Redcoats, Halo and Hornsby, the Rockefellers, Hyde Street. I know I'm missing something, but those share a universe, you know? And what I think is really interesting is like there's little things like the Unnamed War or something like that, right? Like there's this whole thing we don't know about yet, right? And I really feel like once we learn this thing, we're going to see how all these stories truly connect. I'm excited.
And yes, I'm with JSS. Regardless, we're taking everyone down with us. Is like it's one of my favorite things I have picked up recently, and I cannot recommend it enough. It is it's just awesome.
Truly.
Jeff, last time you didn't get a chance to show off some of the books. Did you bring anything that you wanted to show, or did you sell everything?
Well, the Rook was the one I had to go because I'll tell you, over the last 2 months, I haven't had much time between my daughter's graduation and like a whole bunch of other stuff. I said, I'm not going to be good for the show today because I really don't have too much. And I sold so much, I don't have anything really available. Well, so I was
actually wanting to ask you, like, because I know that you've been liquidating your collection. I was curious as to like where you were at that, and like if you settled on, because I know you said that you were keeping some books for like sentimental purposes. I was just wondering like which ones of those you settled on keeping. You don't have to show them or anything, but
yeah, no, this was like I always liked Alex Ross art, Neil Adams. So anything that was like, to me, was a fairly decent cover or it was a decent story. I kind of kept them, and I think I showed last time. Yeah, I didn't bring them upstairs. I should have probably brought a few, but yeah, there was some that I just had attachment to, like when I was younger and I was growing up. So certain covers, like maybe it was a Marvel 2-in-1 cover or the story arcs. Like even when when people talk about maybe Marvel Team Up, Marvel Feature, any of those, I found that those were some of the best stories that they had, and so of course I would have individual ones of those storylines that I just loved, and I just kept it because it had a good cover and had maybe a good storyline in it. So yeah, so it's a lot of random stuff. I could have stuff from the 70s, maybe a couple from the 60s. I still have the first Tales to Astonish Wasp in costume. I couldn't give that one up. It was just one of my favorite books when I was a kid. And then
is Wasp one of your favorite characters? Am I
well, it was always because of Ant-Man. I loved the Ant-Man series. I just thought it was the coolest thing. Just the whole thought process, especially when you're a kid and you're thinking about, can you imagine being shrunk down and now you're all these insects and but then to retain the strength, which was really kind of a cool concept too, which DC did that too. So that was but they both did it differently. The Atom and Ant-Man, it was done differently, and it was always good. So yeah, so I do have a bunch. I probably have maybe.
We got a question here from the chat for you, Jeff. Why are you selling your collection?
It's just because I was at that point, they were just sitting in boxes. I would go over time and I would go into it before encapsulation came around, and I would reread the books and enjoyed them. And, there was a point at which, like, because it's been probably 51 years, 52 years, since I had them. I mean, I didn't have them all at that time. I was collecting as I went along. I mean, I didn't finish my Avengers until I was probably 23. And I was lucky because back in the day, you could get books cheaper if you went to local vendors instead of getting them off the stand. So we would go down to a mall that had a bunch of vendors, and I could get like, oh my God, I could go there with $10. I couldn't tell you how many books I was getting for $10. And so, my first instinct was I wanted volume. It wasn't so much I wanted to go get like, they weren't all carrying Avengers 1 or any of that type of stuff. But, when you broke the top 100, you were going to start paying a little bit of money. So I wanted to have more stories to fill, because it was about collecting to me, because money ruined everything. It really was. Back when we collected, it wasn't about the money. It was about the collections and the stories. And, all those arcs. And I don't remember what stage it was when I was really young that I realized, oh, I see a number on the book. This is 98. Oh, there's 98 books more in front of this, or 97 more books in front of it. And then you learn all that stuff. And so that was my whole thought process, is I just wanted to get as many books I could to fill in for my Avengers, whatever series it was, whether it was DC, Marvel. And it wasn't about the money at that time, because the mid 70s, I think they were just starting to take off, with some of the value on a lot of the books. I mean, except for like Action One, those all kind of had that type of stuff. But for the rest that were out there, especially the Marvels, I mean, there's a few, but not that many. I mean, it was funny when you go back in the old books and you look at the advertisements of what people were selling those books for. Take me back in time. It's like you go back there and just grab all those books.
There was
one of my favorite things to see is there are like ads for buying. I think it's for like Mile High Comics, where you can go in and you can see like you can buy a GSX-1 $5, and that was like the most expensive one on that catalog. Like a GSX-1 $5, in AF-15 for $20. Like, oh my god, to be able to go back with $100 and just buy would be insane.
Yep. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, but the newspaper route I had, I spent every dime, and my mom didn't care because, hey, I'm reading. For God's sake, she tried for years to get me to read, and I just had no interest. But it wasn't until comics. That's why I love handing them out at Halloween, and I go to the local shops and I buy them. I'll get the free comic book day books and the ones that, they got high volume that, they ended up with extras. And so I'll buy a bunch of boxes from them. And then, come Halloween, I just sit out front. I got 2 tables out there. I'm like, take what you want. And they love it. So
that's really cool. I know Mr. Akins, what's on the comic rack, he gives away books at Halloween as well. I did one year, but I couldn't get rid of as many as I wanted because my son wanted to go trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
I was like, but Dad wants to stay home and give away comic books. I think it's great. I have a short box of comics in my classroom. Anything to get, like you said, anything to get kids reading. Kids do like to read. They just, they need to be linked to it in a way that they're engaged with.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool way to do, to do
art,
it.
I think pulls kids in. That's what pulled me in, was the art visualization. I mean, to me, that's what. And then there's just a great story. And then even for my daughter, it was the same thing. Like, she didn't really like reading, and then you don't know what's going to be the spark. It could be anything. Trade paperback, and all of a sudden she gets into a series. Like for my son, it was Star Wars, when they had those smaller Star Wars books in the comic shops, and they were a different type of rack. I forget what they called those, but
digest.
That's what kind of got him into it. And so he started collecting a bunch of those, and then he was off reading other things. So yeah, I'm a big proponent. So that's great. I didn't realize you did that in your class, where you had a bunch of books like that, and you bring them in.
One of the things I liked as a kid, especially reading books from the 70s and 80s, was when you'd be reading and something would happen, and then there's that editor's note at the bottom, like, see Amazing Spider-Man 218 for whatever, whatever the thing was. That kind of got me invested in the idea that there was a connecting universe. You would be reading an Avengers book, but they would tell you to go, check out a different title, which, I mean, they're trying to make money because they're a corporation, which Cliff loves, by the way. But like, I kind of thought that was, like, as a kid, I thought that was cool. Like, that there was this, and now the idea of a consistent comic book universe is old hat, but back then it was, it was different than other kinds of kids entertainment. The Hardy Boys books never told you to go reread the Pirates of Smuggler's Cove if you want to know more. But comic books would try to get you to check out other titles and would have things that went across different books. And I loved that.
We have a very important question from the chat, which is Dope Comics. Cliff, can I get a hug at Heroes?
Yes, of course, Dope.
We need to film as many of the Cliff bear hugs as we can, because that's like that's one hell of a content montage there.
It should be I'm definitely bringing a bottle of Multrum Dual Action with Tylenol with me. You know, I've been trying to do my weight routine, and it sucks because my shoulders are really bothering me for God knows what reason. That, you know, time and age are doing it to me right now. This is what you get. This is what I get for not consistently maintaining a routine. So like, I'm trying to be fit for all these cliff lifts that people are looking forward to, and I can already tell you, some of y'all.
How tall are you, Cliff?
6'3".
6'3". Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to be able to pick me up right off the ground.
Well, you know what? I'm really hoping that we could do a time of our life moment, and we do the thing where I grab you and swing. You know, that's what I'm really hoping for.
I'm in. I'm totally in.
Yeah, you're up there
I
with.
love how Mr. Akins is obsessed with me being like 28, 29. And it's like, I don't believe you. And I'm like, I'm 48. My youth is dying.
I would never have
47, 47. Let me not get ahead of myself. Oh my God.
Oh, you're okay. You're younger than me.
Just a little bit, which is still a shock to me because, you know, you still have color in your cheeks and natural hair. It's amazing.
You know, it's I don't know what it is. there's a portrait of me aging in an attic somewhere. It's a Dorian Gray.
I hope you're making it. I hope you're doing terrible stuff to make that portrait age. You know, I mean, that was the magic of Dorian Gray. The reveal of the portrait was so horrifying.
Yeah,
you know.
Good old Oscar Wilde.
So Cliff, you are up there with like Brandon and Ryan, the Colossus collectors. So I got all three of you together just to take a picture if you ever get together.
How tall are you, Hagen?
I'm 6'1".
Oh, you're up there too, Hagen. Yeah,
you still tower over me.
I'm a short guy compared to you all.
What are you talking? I'm 6'3", you're 6'1". You're still in the range.
Yeah.
I've been told that 2 inches is massive. Am I incorrect in thinking that?
I hope so.
First of all, that is a big difference in different categories. I feel for height, I feel like, you know, it's like at least you're in the landscape.
Eric's got it right here. I'm Asian tall, but white average.
Oh my God! Wait, let me just tell you that my friend came back from Thailand with his girlfriend, and she's meeting all of his friends and family over here for the first time slowly, and she's at a barbecue with us, and we asked her about him meeting her family, right? Mm-hmm. and friends, and she goes, "Oh, they all love him. He's over 180 centimeters." And I almost fell out of my chair. And one of the gods they worship over there, being a god of love, in the temple, one side of the temple is for men, one side of the temple is for women. My friend cannot read a lick of any of it, but on the female side, he could see over and over again 180 centimeters, 180 centimeters, 180 centimeters. So that's it. And I'm like, really, Chris? This is how you impressed everybody? You showed up, this half German, half American white dude. You're over 180 centimeters. Everybody loved you. He goes, he goes, the excitement was real. I didn't even have to say hello. Everybody just leapt to their feet, you know? And I was like,
It was really funny because me and my friend Jordan went up to visit Nate a couple weeks ago, and Jordan is 6'3", so he's as tall as you are, Cliff. And we were the 2 tallest things in Nate's house. It was great.
I mean,
you guys,
my family is very small. We're small people, and these giants walk in. His friend Jordan is palming my ceiling, like just standing up.
Wasn't Nate? Weren't you in the middle? Like, I think I saw the photo. Like,
yeah,
you were. I saw that where they were so much taller.
Every time I take a picture with people, you got to get back so that you can make sure you get their head where I am. Like it was the same when we went to Nashville because Dope and Hagen are both tall, and I'm in the middle. I'm the little guy, but that's okay. Me and Mike will run around. We'll be, little guys together.
Yeah, because I'm 5'8" and he's a little shorter than I am. So
yeah,
yep,
yeah. He just left. Well, that cost extra. Hey, let me show real quick. I just have a couple of things I do want to show because well, I think he's here still, but I got my Stevie D art.
Oh, very
So
cool.
Stevie D, comics with Stevie D, Steve Driscoll has started drawing members of the comic book community.
I love when he does all that. Yeah.
I love it too. He sends me all the ones he's been doing. And he gets people's permission before he posts it or anything. But this one is mine. And what really cracked me up, well, I mean, number one, he's got my Superman back there. He's got the filing cabinet. He's even got the Batman head on there. But on the back of this, he's got the test heads he did, like that he wasn't as happy with, but he still cut them out and sent them to me. So I thought that was really cool. And I absolutely adore this. And I'm going to make this a permanent fixture back there.
Mm-hmm.
And then today is Father's Day, and because my family knows me well, I got a couple new action figures. So I got the Lex Luthor Super Friends from the McFarlane line, and these are great. I mean, I love that Lex Luthor so much. See you, K Munin. The Legion of Doom, but this, oh my God! And Jeff, this is from NECA. So these are designed after the Ben Cooper Halloween costumes that we would have worn in the 1980s. And I think I was this Superman once. So it's made to look like a kid in a plastic smock because that's what our costumes were.
Yeah.
It's hard to see, but in the back there's even a pillowcase because we didn't have, fancy ways to collect our candy. We took our pillowcase off our pillow, and that's what
it was the best way. You could get so much more candy, and instead of those little pumpkin things you could carry around, I was like, no, give me that pillowcase any day of the week.
So these are the superhero ones they've released so far: Batgirl, Batman, Joker, Wonder Woman, and Superman. But there's a whole line of these, and they're freaking awesome. So this is it's like equal parts nostalgic and a little creepy.
All I see is creepy, and I feel like they're awesome. I'm like, are they?
No, I love it.
Murder us. Yeah.
I love it. So those were my Father's Day gifts I woke up to today, and I'm like,
those are pretty good.
Oh my God, why do I come in at the wrong time to your Father's Day gift? It's wonderful. I love it. It's beautiful.
Well, Matt, I do want to unbox these because I take my toys out of the package, but I'm waiting until I get my Lionhead Superman, and then I'm just gonna do a big toy unboxing video that no one's gonna watch because it's like, I thought you liked comics. I'm just a nerd.
Just make sure you use the appropriate hashtags. Toy lovers love it. They'll come running.
Sweet.
So does your son does he collect stuff too, or
he's a Lego kid. So his Lego collection is absolutely obscene. He saves his money up, and he saved up money and bought the Millennium Falcon. Right now he's saving up to get to $300 because he wants the Home Alone set. It's the Home Alone house and the Wet Bandits van and the whole deal, and he is all about it. So yeah, he does pick up figures of things that he likes, but he's not a big action figure kid. He's a Lego kid.
We were pretty lucky because in our area, the Lego company was over here, and I got to see how expensive they were, in the boxes, especially the big ones. I mean, it was crazy, over 100 whatever, dollars every time you want to get sets. But the two people that are one of our friends work there, and so they would have the shop inside where if you get damaged goods, you could get those big sets at a huge discount. So my wife would always say, hey, here's a list of ones we're interested in. He'd get them there. I think it's even like half price off. He was even more than that. So he'd get some really nice sets that we would, be able to get to him for his birthday and everything. But, and then we ended up selling them. But, if you try to sell them, you got to make sure you have all the pieces. But,
oh, yeah.
There's plenty of vacuum bags, I can tell you, that were out there that sucked them all up because he left them out somewhere, and you could hear him going right up. So
he has so many that he has, that's one of the things he does is he'll have me put them on eBay to sell them, but I always have him check and make sure he's got every piece. And there's like this shelf of sets that he wants to sell, but he's missing a piece that he just can't find. Like one of them is a purple skateboard. He's like, I know I've got it somewhere, but it's the only thing that's missing. And as soon as he finds that, it's going to be a eureka moment. But we even have the boxes in our basement so that,
Yeah.
we can sell it with the box and all the pieces. And
Yeah.
the secondary market's pretty good for Lego.
Yeah, no, that's what we did too. We did the same thing. We had the boxes, and there's a point at which I think there's a shop not too far from us where they sell the individual pieces. So if you're missing something, I know you can get them online too, but it's just kind of cool to go in there and just to see what they have.
Lyle, I collect everything. that's the problem. I have so much crap in my house. It's insane.
And I don't want to use the word collecting too strongly. You know, I collect comic books and I acquire superhero crap. And it comes to me.
Yeah, and do you find that, like, because people know you like superheroes, when they have something, I get asked a lot, people bring me at work. I've gotten some like signs or posters or things. They were like, "Oh, a friend had this at the garage sale and it didn't sell. I brought it for you." And I'm like, it's not necessarily something I'd pick for myself, but I'm like, I can't throw away a Batman poster, So I end up with a lot of things like that. I don't know if that happens to other people, but
I've had the same thing too, and I had somebody that gave me, and I just found it today.
Mr. Aiken said, Mr. Aiken said, when I was younger, I traded Legos for 5 issues of the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. Mom was so mad. That's great.
I could understand.
So they knew I was big into Star Wars back in the day, and I guess
wow.
So
Yes.
So it's just it's got the record, which seems to be wanting to come out of the bottom. Oh no, here it is. So it's got the record on the inside.
Oh yeah.
And it had a little story in there, which I thought was kind of cool. And so so I've just kind of held on to it. I can't tell you for what reason, but I still got it. So I just thought it was kind of neat. Yep. So,
I thought those were, when I was a kid, I thought those were, it was another cool way to get into reading. Like when it had people, acting out parts or sound effects or whatever. It was just, a multimedia experience. It was cool.
I mean, I was there when Star Wars came out, and I'll tell you, the first thing that came out, it was a cassette tape. I remember the cassette tape came out, and you didn't get to either went to go see the movie again, or there was nothing else. Like there was no way to record or any of that sort of stuff. So we had to have it all on tape, and then of course the record came out, and I got the the record, which I think I still have that actually. So those are the first things I remember, which I thought were kind of cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
I have a couple around here somewhere. I've got a Star Trek one that's just outstanding.
Cliff, I want to make sure, if you brought anything to show off, would you like to do that, or if you didn't, that's also fine. But I wanted to.
Oh, you mean like these dollar pickups I got recently off of Shopbox, which makes them into $3 pickups, and it's so kind of vaguely annoying.
Exactly like that.
Yes,
that's a good one.
Yes,
once in a while, Lois had to do something.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, give the woman a moment. I mean, not every story can be about I almost married Superman and I spent 24 hours as a black woman.
That's on my list.
Which, by the way, the number one thing that bothers me about that story is the fact that Superman never finishes answering love me if I stayed like this forever.
Oh.
I want to reach through the comic and slap Superman. Like, he answers, but like not in a way that I feel Superman should answer.
I mean, it was Superman of the 70s.
I don't care. Superman should always be like, of course I'm going to love you for who you are. Or he could be like, Lois, I've never said those words to you, and I don't think that this look is going to change that. I mean, like...
Yeah, you got some good ones.
Oh, there you go. Big Key. First appearance of X-Men Blue and Gold, right?
Well, Trevor Fitzroy as well.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Not bad for $1.
No, not bad.
Oh, wow.
For the X-Men love. Oh, this one I was very happy with.
Storm.
And this one. But a
Yeah,
little,
wow.
a little.
I know nothing about like the X-Men universe or the keys or whatever. There are a ton of people that know a bunch about it. I am not one of those,
Well,
but
hey, go back to that one, Cliff, the rogue one. That's a transitional rogue costume. So in between her grandma rogue introductory costume and the one we all love
Also,
now.
you know, she's got Carol's personality trapped inside of her as well.
Right,
So,
right.
of course, we got the sash courtesy of Carol Danvers' personality.
Funny.
Now, this next one is extra special. I know everyone except Hagen is going to love it.
Oh wow, 90s Namor.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And now the next one is extra special, and everyone better love it, or they're getting a slap. The Hagen's like, okay.
oh,
Hell yeah.
for $1?
You got that
Yeah.
for $1?
No, this one was actually $8.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, still.
Yeah,
Eight-
that one I had.
eight.
That one was one of the ones, and this one was also $8.
Wow, that's an $8 book?
Oh, this was an auction, so like, you know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, maybe it should, maybe it shouldn't be. I was really, you know, I was in the fight. The fight was real. You
Been
know?
there. Yeah.
But back to the dollars. Now
Oh,
the
that's
next
cool.
one is a genuine key, and it was $1. And I can't believe that someone was fighting me to the death on this one, but not fighting me for the next one. This Alpha Flight is Jim Lee's first cover.
Oh,
Very cool.
that's
Very
awesome.
cool. And this was one of the ones I got for $1. So it makes you feel a little bit less upset about the $8 one.
No, it all balances out. That's what I say in a whatnot auction.
Psylocke's first appearance.
Very
Or
cool.
Betsy Braddock's first appearance, at least, right?
Yeah.
We all know this bad boy.
Mm-hmm. Mr.
And again,
Robert
at
Liefeld.
this point, I'm just grabbing them for $1.
I love that run of the New Mutants. It's it's fun.
Yeah, you did pretty good. Those are some good books.
Now this one is
a lot of Sienkiewicz art in those.
Yeah,
including this next one, Sienkiewicz painted cover. Got it for $1. It's beat to shit. And it's Magic's first appearance with Magic.
Yeah.
But not only is the spine destroyed, but look, whoever owned it wrote that $1. But you know what I love about this is that like it tells a story that someone owned and loved this book, and it made me think of Nate immediately because Nate is all about collecting stuff that feels loved and owned, and that's really nice.
I like things to have. I mean, I'm not upset if something has a history. Like that's part of its story. That's awesome.
I love this cover. Also, this is the second. This is the first appearance of the second Thunderbird. Or it's the second appearance of the second Thunderbird.
I don't know what either of those things mean, honestly.
It is an appearance of an Thunderbird.
I'm not sure who
no,
Thunderbird is.
This one is a Tom Mandrake cover.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I love this next one. This is the first appearance of Doug Ramsey.
Oh, Kitty.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Professor Xavier's a jerk.
He is a jerk.
Oh my God. They need to redeem him. He's so awful now. I don't know what to do with him. I love this, and I love how the magma splatter like just goes through the cover or through the trade dress.
So, Cliff, when you first started collecting, what got you in? Was it Independence, DC, Marvel? What was the first thing that
Superman?
got
It was all Superman. So yeah, it's
Superman,
DC's fault. It's all
Yeah.
DC's. Even though I don't properly, I'm gonna change the wall to represent my DC love because like I just need to change it to represent my DC love.
Well, it's been Marvel for a while, so it's kind of nice to see DC kind of get something finally.
Yeah.
DC fans deserve to have a resurgence, and I really hope that this Superman movie kicks it off for you guys.
It is
I
somewhat bittersweet though, because like DC fans have been eating good when it comes to getting back issues. Like our books don't cost much.
Yeah, you're about to suffer.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yes.
suck.
No, we're not going to suffer. I really doubt it because I'm still waiting for that to happen. You know? Oh, this is a Whitman that I picked up for $1.
Ooh, there you
Hell
go.
Very
yeah.
cool.
I don't think I have that one. I have a different Brave and the Bold Metamorpho.
That is probably very likely. And also, I guess while I'm here, I wanted to show off these things because I've been talking about my Superman and Legion love, and they're not represented properly. So let's do some proper representation. As my arms are breaking. Do I got this right? I think I do. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay. So 1960, 61, 62, 61. So you come next. All right. Here we go. All right. So here is the third appearance of the Legion of Superheroes. Supergirl gets offered an opportunity to try for Legion. First appearance of Chameleon Boy, Invisible Kid, and Colossal Boy.
Very cool.
Of course, Supergirl is exposed to red kryptonite. It makes her older, and she's not eligible to join. So they reject her and send her home. Next up, the first appearance of Tom Kalar, Starboy, later JSA Starman.
Awesome.
Now, this is a great cover. Now, this calls itself the fifth appearance of the Legion of Superheroes. So I really got to figure out their appearance order.
I always felt DC did color better than Marvel. I just love the way.
Especially in this time period.
Yeah.
This one I had to get from Hong Kong, but I paid because this is worth 4 something and I paid 2 something. It's Action Comics 276. Supergirl
Oh my god.
joins the Legion in this one. And we're introduced to 5 Legionnaires.
Yeah.
First appearance, Brainiac 5, Sunboy, Phantom Girl, Triplicate Girl, Shrinking Violet, and Bouncing Boy. 6 Legionnaires, and Supergirl joins the Legion.
That's a 4.0, man. That book, that's a great looking copy, Cliff. Every time I see that book, it is the most sun faded or beat up, that is.
There's some beautiful copies out there. I can't afford them, but there's some beautiful copies that one day when I can afford it, I'll do an upgrade.
I will tell you, I would stay away from all these high graded books because honestly, in the end, when you go to try to sell them, they are going to be so hard to move.
Jeff, you're not talking to somebody who's doing this to sell them. Okay.
I know you're collecting, but at some point in the future, I'm saying.
No. You mean when they go on the ark with me that will be lit on fire by arrows?
Oh, you're gonna burn together.
That's how this is going, Jeffrey. That's how this is going. They're going with me. They're going to be buried with me. They're going on the ark that we light on fire. Okay, but that's how it's going down. They're going to be with me to the end.
You'll get the last laugh because if you get up there and you do have the books in your hand, I will be sad that I didn't do the same thing. So. Now, on the other hand, if I'm like 70 and I have a husband who's like 40, then maybe I'll sell it just so I can enjoy those last years. I don't know, but I don't think that kind of happiness is in store for me. So, a spiteful burn it all with me is probably the way. I'll probably send off.
Yeah, I'll probably leave the collection to somebody I actually care about. We'll see. That I know will be responsible because I know damn well my family, it's like that has no value. That has value to somebody, but it doesn't have value to us. And I'm like, y'all are gonna learn. And last but not least, Adventure Comics 293. This is the first appearance of the Legion of Super Pets and Comet the Super Horse. And shockingly enough, the second appearance of General Zod.
Very cool. I love. My only complaint about that book is that the pets don't appear on the cover.
I know, right? So
Yeah.
disappointing.
But
You know?
that is a great book and a really fun issue.
And I got this at a Cliffs Con, one of the little ones at the VFW. There's a he'll do a small one at the VFW, a larger one at a local hotel. So this was one of the small VFW ones, and I snagged this up for $120.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I was very happy. And of course I was like, Cliff, stop spending your Heroes Con money. And I was like, but it was only $120.
No, you buy that at 120. I mean, I don't know if you so I got that book in a lot on eBay, 4 books for $40. So I got my copy for $10.
No, that's great.
Yeah, they didn't know what they had. I want to show
I just got one last thing. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Wait, there's two less things. For Heroes Con, I'm gonna make a beeline for AA and just try to get him to sign this.
Oh, cool.
That's really cool.
This is the Marvel Comics 1000 1 in 100.
Wow.
So I'm gonna try and get this signed, graded, the whole shebang. And lastly, this one has a special destiny, but I was very proud to pick it up because I got it at a very fair value. This Daredevil 100.
That's a good one.
Very cool.
All right, now I'm done showing off. We're good.
I just
big show off. I'm sorry.
No, I just happen to have a box of Silver Age DC here. So Cliff, this one's easy.
Yes, Ultra Boy. Yes,
appearance of Ultra Boy.
Jonah, yes.
This was a gift. Son of Crom sent this to me along with like the most Superman books I've ever seen.
Nice.
So this was cool.
That man's a gem.
He is a gem. Let's test Cliff's knowledge here. Whose first appearance is this?
Green costume. I want to say Chemical Kid.
Nope.
Matter Eater Lad.
Matter Eater Lad. I knew Green costume.
Why do I know that?
Why do you know?
Because you've spent too much time. You've spent too much time with your wife husband.
Yeah, I think, Nate, that's your fault.
It's definitely my fault. I love that Superboy's being tormented by falcons who have kryptonite tied to their claws.
Because only a true menace would come up with such a thing for Superboy.
A true menace. Yeah, the Silver DC, man, it's just too fun. It's too fun to read. The covers are so good. Like you said, Jeff, that for whatever reason, the colors or the covers endure. Like even into this age, they still look good. Whereas Marvel, it starts to fade and deteriorate.
And when I'm working on them, I can get them to look so much better than if I'm working with, and it is about the quality of the paper that they used. DC they put really good gloss in those books. So those are the ones I actually kind of have fun with. Like, especially when I open up, somebody sends me something, I look at them going, oh yeah, this one's going to be fun. I can tell the things I can do to improve it. And I can get that gloss back, make it look just like, maybe not right off the stand, but, make it look really fairly decent. And, that's the fun to me, is being able to do that. So
Jeff, are you still like working a full-time job and doing the cleaning and pressing in your spare time?
So I work in a retirement community just 2 days a week, and then I try to do this as much as I can. A lot of family stuff has been keeping me busy over the last month, so it's really been. Plus, it's a little bit of a break, and everybody's so patient, so it's really kind of nice. So, but now I'm starting to get back into it again. I'm working on this one currently.
Oh.
So here's an oldie, but in great shape. You had a really good, it's got oxidation, because of that age. So there's certain things you can't do to it. Like you can't manipulate the spine if it's got a spine roll. At least I got to watch it when you do it, because you don't want any of the pieces falling off of it. I want to try to keep it as best I can. Yeah, I'm there to improve it, not make it worse. So, but I do get to see some really nice books coming in, and maybe some not so nice. They think I'm a magician on some of these books they send me. I'm like, no, this one's not going to get too far. But if it's for your personal collection, that's when they're the happiest. I just had someone send me where they had their books in a vault, and they were like some of the really, really valuable books. Was it the Walking Dead #1? There was like a few. So it was in this
A
vault,
few.
and
Jeez.
they were encapsulated, and the staples rusted. And so they never checked it. They were in there for a while. And so he said, "Oh, can you do anything to these?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "It all depends. Like once I see the inside, what they look like, is even he can't see them." So I cracked them. I got on the inside, and yeah, you can see where the rusted damage, it stained the paper, but he didn't care. He just wanted to get those staples out of there and try to put something, because it's like, Cliff, his personal collection, and he wants to keep these, and he's got, of course, they got history, and that's the love of the books. So I was able to make them better. I can't get them back to what they used to be, but he was completely happy. And I mean, it's just it is about where you keep them. It's like, I don't know why that vault was so humid, but I don't know. I think he's in California, I think, if I remember right. So, but yeah.
You got to work extra hard on the West Coast to keep it together. Your comics.
That's it, man. If they're coming from
all
there,
those people do is shake and bake. You're constantly trying to protect the comics.
It's like, I'm gonna have to charge you double. It's like,
California, double.
Yeah, double, or Florida. Like I always tell people, don't be sending your books to CGC in the summertime, because they do get all warpy, and even if they're in the caps, they'll send them back down to take something out. Maybe there was an error that CGC did, but boy, they take it down there, and if the book was worked on, all the creases come back. I've mentioned it a few times. That stuff happens. So, yep.
Florida would be anywhere in the South, Hagen. I mean, you get a ton of humidity as well. So.
Oh my God, it's been wretched these past couple of days. Like I think we've been at like over 90% humidity for like 4 or 5 days in a row. Every morning it feels like walking out into soup, because it's like 86 degrees and it's also 100% humidity. It's
that's what I was worried about your Avengers 4 when I sent it to you. I'm like, oh, is this thing even gonna get there without creases coming back? Because we that book definitely had a few creases.
It had a few.
Yeah, for sure. I am debating, because CGC they're doing on-site grading, but they're also doing like you bring the books to them, so you just save on shipping. Like they'll take them back to Florida with them.
Yep.
I am really, really debating on getting the Avengers 4 and the 2000 AD #2 graded, just for like protection purposes. Like I'm getting kind of antsy about them. I'll be honest.
I love the idea, but do keep in mind that's a chunky payment.
That's the thing that I don't know. I have no idea how much it would cost. Like I don't know
they charge you a percent of the
they charge you a percentage. That's the part I don't love.
Yeah, that's a lot of people complain about. But you went and got that special case that is supposed to help protect.
I did, yeah. The issue with that is that anytime you get like a case that's from a private organization, not a company, you run the risk of them going out of business. And Crafty Comics did go out of business. They are no longer selling. They are no longer selling that case. So that's the only one that I will have. So I can't get one for the 2000 AD. And I want something to protect. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, say there's a lot of cost involved, but if you're going to save it because you want the value to be retained, I guess
Hagen, you would say your Avengers 4 is worth less than $1,000?
I have Jeff. I have the Post-it note that you gave me here. It's a 2.5 ish. So I don't know what that goes for. The 2000 AD is a 3.0 ish.
All right. So CGC has 3 tiers: modern, vintage, high value, and unlimited. High value for books valued up to $1,000 is $110 per comic. And then unlimited value is 5% of the fair market value with a $225 minimum.
Oh, God.
So that's something for you to think about.
That's absolutely brutal.
It is a lot. Yes.
Yeah, slab value, it would still be under 1,000. So like 600, 625, 650-ish for a 2.5.
Yeah, I think they're both around that sort of value mark. I think they're both around like $600 or $700. I know that I got I know that I got the Avengers 4 for less than 6 because I got some other stuff with it, and I handed the guy 6 crisp bills. But yeah, I don't know.
I know, because you look at it and you say, okay, well, if this takes $300 of the value of the book out of it, you know what I mean? If you're looking at it that way, as opposed to this is in my collection, I only care that, it's in my PC. And so that just wipes it all away. You don't have to care about it, that you're getting some of that value. But if it's for you, for the historical, for the, how many years you're going to keep like Cliff until you go to burn it one day with yourself, it's really about you and how you're going to do it. So
yeah, no, my goal is for all other things being equal, that Avengers 4 will be shot into space with me. That's Cliff. You want a Viking funeral? I want to be shot into space like Gene Roddenberry.
I just
it wasn't Gene Roddenberry. It was Scotty James Doohan, right?
Scotty did it too.
Also, I don't think it was successful. So, like, plan accordingly.
Well, that's the thing, is that I heard that like their ashes were shot into space. I don't want that. I want to be like a limp corpse flying through the cosmos for eternity.
Honey, you don't have that kind of money. Do you know what I've also looked into? The thing where they turn you into a bulb and plant you so that a tree grows from your corpse. I kind of dig that one, because then I would have like a life. I would believe that I would have a life as a tree.
Yeah, I don't want to be stuck in one place. I like the space idea.
Because then you're traveling infinitely in a void of darkness.
So Universal has a question here, and I don't know what you guys think. But selling your comics, like right now, it's not a seller's market. I don't feel like right now at all.
But if you're trying to unload, you're trying to unload.
Right. And I think, if you want your best value, you do your research, you put them up individually on eBay, or, other comic swap. What's that?
Whatnot.
Yeah. You have a lot of options, a lot of places you can sell. If you want to do a big bulk thing, Facebook Marketplace to locally just dump something. Overstreet is still an option. I think you can still use Overstreet as a general guide, but if you want to know like up to the minute prices, most people pay for a Go Collect or Key Collector, and cover.
You could also just use eBay sold listings,
correct,
to get a feel for it if you want.
And that's
the thing. You need to use all of them to get a good idea, because the reality is they're all not perfect, and that's you will go nuts.
So I went everywhere. I did Whatnot. I did LCS's consignment. There's like so many different things you can do, and every place is different. Like you can go on Facebook groups and they sell stuff there, and so you just never know. People are in different places, and maybe the higher end will be in these groups, and then the people on the low end just trying to like Whatnot. People were just looking for, like I was getting rid of some of my small book on the Whatnots because they're looking for the deal during the auctions. And even though I had buy it nows, they weren't even looking at the buy it nows. They were just they just want to get the best deal. So I was going to say, you're not going to get FMV. You're going to get below that. And if I'm making more than what I paid, I'm doing good.
If you plan your Whatnots accordingly, like you if you actually post your whole game plan for Whatnots and give people like 2 weeks notice, and you actively share your Whatnots event, you could do well, because all those people who are trying to come in and snipe, and the next thing you know, that book that started at $1 might actually sell for $8.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if it's Adventures of Superman 692 or something like that, like that one may not even go.
Right.
It may not even happen.
And that's I was going to say, that's where I think your best, like if you have a bunch of that, just dollar books that aren't even worth $1, you just put those in a box and you get on Facebook Marketplace and you see what somebody, you put a price on it, but see what you can get, because if you can move that bulk, you'll probably be happier than trying to parse that out at $1 per book and not get it. And then, this point here.
I was about to say, Universal had another question, which is, I've seen YouTube videos where people clean their comics and press their comics. Do you all believe this is real? Many YouTube videos are not real. I'm pretty sure those are all deep faked. I don't think it's possible to clean and or press a comic. And I think Jeff, you would agree with us on that. What do you say?
Yeah, I'll go with the flow.
our guest Jeff from Comic Spot is a cleaner and presser of books. He is a wizard. He can bring a book back to he can put a book in its best possible shape.
Yes, you're right. I can't bring it back to shelf, when it was first on the shelf, but I'll take it. Yeah, no chemicals, no nothing. I just try to get it as looking as best as it can, because that's a story right there. It has its own story on the outside, just like the inside. So yeah.
And Universal, go ahead and follow our friend Impressed Comics, Matt here. He is another cleaner and presser.
Very
who does
good.
Excellent work. Excellent work from what I've seen.
I'm going to call it Mr. 9.8.
Very nice. See you, Lyle. Yeah, does anybody have anything else? I'm kind of getting up to my limit where I'm going to need to get ready to go finish out my day or start my day. This is my start. I got to do something. I got to do something productive. Not that this isn't fun, but it's like
this is fun, and it's a little bit productive in its own right.
It is, but it doesn't fill the drawer with clean underwear and socks.
That's
Right.
the laundry room is for. And I mean, the laundry room? Yes. All right.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy.
Mine's right here, so I can't do it because it's so loud you can't hear anything.
I did enjoy being paired with Cliff, though. That was a lot of fun.
See, Cliff?
Lovely. I did.
See?
Listen, I think it's very sweet. And I'm so happy that you even thought of me as a runner-up, And
Not
no,
a
Jake,
runner
it's a
up.
pleasure. I'm happy to share some screen time with you. Cliff,
Yeah.
do you like Maddie Matheson? You mean the Canadian guy who loves to be loud and curse and cook, and who I think is like my cousin 3 times removed? Yeah. You're gonna tell me I look like him. Let me tell you, if you saw me cooking a lasagna in the kitchen, you'd be like, "Oh my god!"
I love Maddie Matheson cooking stuff.
That guy gets so. You know what? Like, we might be related because the anxiety. Like, have you ever watched the behind the scenes with him and his anxiety? He's like, Shauna, I'm so glad you're here. Like, if you weren't here, like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through. And he's just trying to make Coca-Cola ribs,
Right.
And I'm just like, oh my god, Maddie, you can do this, baby. You can do it.
Yeah, I mean, from The Bear, the show he's producing on FX, which I absolutely love. That's like I followed his recipe for Italian beef, and it was spot on. It was really good.
Well, it's really funny how he got to The Bear from all his YouTube cooking extravaganzas. I honestly wish that I had all the time and the energy and the patience, and I want to be one of my YouTube heroes, what's his name? Oh my god, the one, whatever, the one who used to be he used to love Frasier, and it all started with him watching Frasier in the background and trying recipes. Thank you. Love
yeah.
because he has his own damn team, and now he's living his best life. And then that kid in Canada, that young man in Canada,
Justin Bieber.
Linus.
Oh, the tech tips?
Yeah, Linus Tech Tips. He has built a multi-million-dollar empire out of his tech tips. And and he's got those red 8K cameras. He's got a whole staff editing videos all day. He hired a CEO just to keep it together. He made a video about how he is not going to sell out to some company just so it just turns into another generic channel. I love everything about him. Maybe it's my Canadian blood, but I love everything about him. And all these people who've made like a little YouTube empire and never really sold out and just create things, like, I love them. I just absolutely love them. And I admire their good qualities.
So Cliff, you are a man about YouTube. You're all over the dang place. What do you got coming up this week? You got anything before you leave?
Well, you know what? I think I may just take the rest of the day to chill with my mother. The council, we agreed not to do something on Father's Day because Green Shirt Guy and Steve Bizarre are both fathers, and I sided with them very quickly. Oh my God, what do I have going on? Okay, so Monday night is New Keys and Hot Comics of the Week with the council, so I'll be there. And then anything you see from me, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be just the most outrageous random stuff from me and or Izzyverse. And that's it. That's what we're going to get. We're just going to see what kind of adventures we have at Heroes Con,
Awesome.
which I can't wait. And I don't know about the rest of you. I'm there for the con and for the people at the con. Someone's like, oh, Cliff, don't you want to take a break from the con and do something? I was like, what has North Carolina got to offer me? What has Charlotte got to offer me? And then they mentioned the most ridiculous thing that you should ever mention to a man of my stature. And I said, I'm sorry, do you want me to go there so I can burn it down? And
Well, what is it?
It's a history museum for a televangelist.
Oh,
Yeah. We don't have to talk about it. I'm just letting y'all know. If y'all know me, y'all know I'm not going to be interested in no televangelist.
no, Cliff,
I'll take you to the NASCAR Hall of Fame instead.
I'm not interested in that either. But thank you for thinking of me.
I know.
Yeah,
And I did.
I'll be happy to not go to both of those places with you.
I want you to know I did actually go to a NASCAR thing once because my friend is a NASCAR like obsessive, right? And basically it was one of those things where like, okay, I'm gonna go, but we're gonna go like you're gonna like where were we? Indianapolis? Anyhow, I was like, we're gonna go, but you're gonna take me to we're going to comic book shops, you're gonna tolerate my crap, and then we'll spend the 2 days of NASCAR that we did. And it was exciting because we met all sorts of drivers and everything. Not that I cared, but I was like, oh, this is lovely,
Hey, you end up in Indianapolis again, you better let me know.
Well, I didn't know you then. It was such a long time.
I know. I'm
Hey,
just
if
saying.
I had known, I would have found you. We would have done all sorts of. We would have gone comic book shopping. We would have played HeroClix together. We would have played Versus. I would have taught you how to play. It would have been magical.
It would have been
Some DC deck builder. I would have let you be Batman or Superman.
I love DC Deck Builder. I have so many.
I know.
I have so many of them. All right. I gotta go see my family.
Yeah.
And I think Jeff has to see his as well.
Thank you everybody for hanging out with
Yeah.
us on this Father's Day. We will see you all later.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Have a good Sunday, everybody.